Question number one is, bro, I'm getting older. Is it realistic for me to lose weight and build muscle at the same time? So I'm going to say this, and this one hit me hard because, I know my journey and I know where I really turned it on. I was probably, this was like 2017. I've been in the gym, training my entire life, obviously being a former athlete. But one of the things I can tell you is that when I started getting into my 30s, I started questioning, and I see a lot of guys doing that. I got in my 40s. When I got in my 40s, I was like, this is what 40 is supposed to look like, but I was like super determined. But I know a lot of guys are really questioning this because what you start to feel is like, you feel like that window's closing. You feel like, what you like, one of the things, you're stuck in the past because you're thinking about what you used to look like when you were probably 18, 19, 20, maybe if you played, a college sport, but it was a lot easier for you back then. And I want to say this, the best days are still in front of you. That like you're not losing out, but something has to change. And I think the biggest thing we have to think about is you need to stop making the excuses that you're getting older and literally walking around using that as a crutch. I hear guys that be like, man, I'm getting old, bro. I'm how old are you? Like, I'm 30, 31. I'm like, that's not old, right? And I understand maybe it's you're tired, maybe things are starting to change, but the reality is, if you think about it, back in the day when we were younger, maybe in high school, whatever else, you were more active, right? You had a sport, you had activities, you just were more active. Unfortunately, what happens is as you get older, you get a job and you get sedentary because you sit down for 8 hours. And unless you're working a physical job, that's what happens. And so really the thing I want to say here, we need to really stop using our age as a crutch and start using it as fuel.